Imagine being part of a music label where fame comes fast, but so does tragedy. A label where success is undeniable, but so is a dark streak that follows its artists. Gucci Mane's 1017 label seems to have a bit of a jinx. It's been messing with its artists for years. Today, we're taking a closer look at 1017 Records, the empire Gucci built from the streets of Atlanta to the big time. But there's more than just the shine and sparkle. A cloud of bad luck seems to follow a lot of its artists. Whether it's legal trouble or artists passing away, unfortunate circumstances seem to follow the label around. Is it just bad vibes, or is there something else going on behind the scenes? Let's figure out what's really up with 1017's so-called curse. Number 1. The rise of Gucci Mane and 1017 Records. Gucci Mane, the guy known as the Trap God, kicked off 1017 Records back in 2007, naming it after his grandpa's house number. He was one of the original players in Atlanta's trap music scene, mixing up raw street tales with sick beats and paving the way for a bunch of rappers that followed. His label became a launchpad for up-and-coming artists trying to make it in the tough rap game. At first, everything was looking good. The label started making waves with signings that later blew up in the hip-hop world. But then things took a nasty turn when several artists under 1017 ran into legal issues, prison time, or even worse situations. Number 2. The legal troubles and losses. Gucci Mane himself became the first high-profile figure to experience the hardships associated with 1017. Despite experiencing significant success, he frequently encountered legal challenges. In 2014, he got into legal trouble and was charged with some gun-related offenses for which he got nearly 3 years imprisonment. Many believe this was the beginning of the end for him, but this was by no means the end of his problems. In 2010, OJ the Juice Man was signed to the label and was one of the first artists who showed promising talent. His troubles mainly came from ongoing legal issues that kept him from breaking into the mainstream, even though he clearly had talent. One had to wonder if it was bad luck or perhaps it indicated that there was a bigger issue with the label. On the other hand, being one of the major acts signed by 1017, Waka Flocka Flame had a relatively good career, but he also had his fair share of troubles, most notably the death of his younger brother, K.O. Red, in 2013. Though unrelated to the label directly, the loss hit Waka hard, and many fans began to believe that misfortune seemed to follow those associated with 1017. But what followed after these events only increased the fans' superstitions regarding the label. Number 3. The departure of Key Glock and the sudden death of Big Scar. Moving forward, Gucci Mane continued to sign new talent, keeping the label relevant even after his release from prison. One of the new signings was Key Glock, a superstar in the making with mad talent. Just when it looked like he was about to blow up under 1017, he unexpectedly left the label and fans were left scratching their heads. Then came the heartbreaking news of Big Scar's death in December 2022. He was one of the bright new faces at 1017, and it was devastating to lose him at just 22. It shook up the hip-hop scene and kicked off talks about the so-called 1017 curse, as people couldn't help but notice the creepy trend of setbacks and losses that seemed to follow the label. Big Scar's death hit Gucci Mane hard too, since he really cared about the young rapper's career. When it was revealed that he died from an accidental overdose, it just added to the sadness surrounding the label's already tough journey. Number 4. Other artists facing hardships. Another rapper signed to 1017 was Fujiano, and he too was charged with some severe crimes. Earlier this year, he was arrested again, which led to him being given 5 years behind bars for removing his ankle bracelet and fleeing from trial. Fujiano's legal mess kinda mirrored what Gucci Mane went through before, making a lot of people think that there's more to this curse than just luck. Not even Pooh Shiesty, one of the newly signed artists at 1017, had his journey go smoothly. 2021 marked the year he gained fame, but before he could blow up, he was arrested, and some of the charges he had to answer to included armed robbery. Those charges threw him in jail and totally halted his rise as one of the biggest young rappers out there. With each new artist dealing with everything from legal issues to personal problems, the whole 1017 curse story just got more and more real. Fans couldn't ignore the growing list of problems that seemed to follow anyone associated with the label. Number 5. Is it really a curse? So is there really a curse going on, or is this just how the industry is? Hip-hop, especially trap music, often shows the tough side of street life. A lot of artists signed to 1017 come from rough backgrounds where getting into trouble or dealing with personal tragedies is pretty common. Still, it's hard to ignore how often these issues pop up among the 1017 crew. Some folks think it's just part of the lifestyle these artists lived before they got famous. Others say it's all about the pressure that comes with sudden fame and how hard it is to shake off their past. And then there are people who think 1017's curse is a little more than just bad luck. Gucci Mane himself has had a pretty complicated relationship with his own history. His history with drugs, violence, and legal troubles has often mirrored the struggles of his artists. Some wonder if this shared experience is what leads Gucci to sign artists who are still very much tied to the streets, making it hard for them to break free from the same cycle of hardships. Number 6. The label's resilience. Even with everything that's happened, 1017 is still a major player in hip-hop. Gucci Mane keeps proving he's tough and a genius at finding new talent. The label draws in young artists who are eager to make a name for themselves. No matter the bumps in the road, Gucci stays dedicated to moving the culture ahead. In fact, many of the artists under 1017 have spoken highly of Gucci's mentorship and support. He provides them with a platform and resources that they likely wouldn't have elsewhere. But the question remains, can any artist truly thrive under 1017's banner without facing the shadow of its curse? Number 7. A brighter future or more of the same? The future of 1017 Records is a bit up in the air. New artists keep popping up, and Gucci Mane's still going strong. But it's hard not to wonder, will the bad luck that's haunted this label finally stop, or will new artists keep running into the same old problems? One thing's for sure, 1017 has made a huge impact on hip-hop, with its role in trap music and the strange bad luck that seems to follow its artists. Only time will tell whether Gucci Mane's label's tragedies continue or will it finally have some peace. Whether you think the curse is real or just a story, its influence on the scene is pretty hard to ignore. Is the whole 1017 Records thing just a fluke, or is it a sign of the tough life in the trap? Gucci Mane is out here still making bags of cash, but we will have to see if that dark cloud over his label will ever dissipate anytime soon. But one thing is for certain, 1017 is going to stay big in hip-hop for years to come. What do you think? Just bad luck, or is there more to this 1017 curse? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more cool stories about your favorite artists and labels.